This is Jim Vaglica, and this is my after action report, American Grit Episode 1. We're told not to talk to anybody until after the teams are formed. This thing is high. This is crazy, man. And I see the rope set up, and I'm like pumped because I know we're rappelling over this thing. And I love that crap, right? And my first impression of K-Joy was that she could not wait to jump over that bridge. And finally, it's like nighttime now, and we get to base camp. We had no idea who the host was. So when we get to base camp, there's John Cena standing in front of us. I really didn't know humans could look like that. But Nick, to me, looks like somebody who should be on my team. Like, he looks like one of the guys from my SWAT team, you know what I mean? I was like, I'm standing there and I'm waiting, and I'm just like chomping at the bit, and he says, Jim, and I was like, yeah, right? Pumped, right? So then he chooses K-Joy, then he chooses Maria, and from what I could see about Maria, I knew that she was the type that liked to try and take charge of things. That's all I knew. And then he chooses Cam, and Cam, to me, my first impression was this young, goofy kid who had a lot of energy, and I was like, all right, he's got a lot of energy, bring it to the team, man, we can use that. So glad to see that Nick wanted me and T wanted me. The first evolution, ruck up, that log got heavy, man. The two girls, K-Joy and Maria, we would say, hey, give us a break. And those two girls would take this log and carry it for, as long as they could, which gave me and Cam a break. And then we take it back. And we carried that thing for a total of 5 miles. Not an easy task. Every team had to finally get that log upright, and we were the last ones to do that. And that's what really bothered me. Like, we lost bad. I'm telling you, everything you see is real. Nothing was set up. Nobody told me to say anything, okay? However that happened, that's the way it happened. Until my name is called, I don't know I'm going to circus. None of us know we're going to circus until we're standing there and our name is called by our cadre. Where's your fourth team member? Where's K-Joy? That will be explained. It's just a bizarre event, and the show will explain that. Just stand by on that one. What's Cena like? What's Cena like? Cena was professional, prepared. He was involved. He cared about us. Man, he was always asking, like, how's the food? How are the living conditions? What can I do for you? If we asked Cena to do something, he got it taken care of. The guy was great. How was my arm? How much longer could I hold on to that rope? My arm was burning. You saw me in the zone. I just tried to just keep my eyes closed and just get into my little happy place and forget about the pain. It wasn't slipping. I don't know how long I could have held on to that. I underestimated Goldie. I apologized to her after that. When Rourke ever picked Goldie to go into the circus, my mind was, I just won. There's no way this girl's going to beat me. I don't hate Chris. I can't tell you why Chris behaved that way. Me and Chris are good. We worked it out. No hard feelings. I don't hate the guy, and I wish that you wouldn't hate him either, okay? Cut him a break. He was very confident. You can't, you know what? The worst thing you can be, if you're chosen to be on TV, the worst thing you can be is boring, okay? And Chris was not boring. And, I was sorry to see him leave. He's TV gold, man. Everybody would want to tune in and see what Chris was up to this episode. You know what I mean? At the circus, when I grabbed Goldie, and I said, Goldie, we did it. And she said, I know. And I said, Goldie, we're going back to base camp. And she said, I know. And we just hugged, and it was amazing. It was like one of the greatest moments of my life. That's going to wrap it up for Jim's After Action Report, Episode 1. I will see you next weekend. Stand by for an epic Episode 2.